On a Friday night, he wakes me up that morning. He says, I have the cover. Come with me. And his daughter, Ella, this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful child, who's 6 right now, dresses up in a ballerina outfit. We take a toy box, a toy boom box, about that big, little yellow plastic thing, and plug that in, and she dances off the rock. That's the cover. Choir dance. The other request that I had is to read the first 2 poems in the book, which I'll do in a moment. The book itself spans, as Peter said, a period of about 12 years. It moves from an area, from a rural to a very urban existence. And it deals with us living together and being with each other. Your relationship points, your childhood memory points, there are points of the immediate moment. All of those things enter into our lives, all of our lives. Points in 5, or the book is in 5 sections. To say we are dying is not enough. Away and home, the required dance, an armful of ash, and traveling with the Spirit. And I'll read something from each section. This is a poem called The Wind Comes From Over the Hills. And it's after a poem by the Japanese surrealist poet Kenji Miyazawa. Now, from the northwest, the wind comes from over the hills, brushes my coat stiff with winter, chills my bare forehead and eyelids, rustling the rows of tall pine that stand stubbornly, pushing the snow pilings from each branch. The wind comes from over the hills. Because of hard work, the cut pine, dry, promised a warm winter. But by mid-afternoon, a blown open shed door and 3 feet of pummeling snow made some logs wet and useless, and though they danced like children, the fierce storm yesterday fell one branch after another. Where I stand, driving sheets of snow, cold as if death hovered over the fallen limbs. Having gone through all this, which we had not expected, again, against all odds now, because of the good roof we built in autumn, and in other careful repairs, the shed still stands today. And I had expected this, and to tell you that soon all will be well. I looked for you, but you were gone. The snow came harder until it filled my eyes. There was no sign of clearing. Finally, like a lunatic, I ran out in the snow, telephoned the weather station, went from field to hill, crying for you until hoarse in the terrible blizzard. I went home late at night. I did not sleep. But now, look, this morning the east, the golden branch rises. The clouds, the woods shoot up. The long wires speak. The gray mist falls away. The tall pine hold. They are alive still. They are perfect sentinels. All stand strong. And their tips, which pointed bravely in the storm, large white caps glisten. And above, the silent crystal edge reflecting the sun, 2 black hawks glide. We must pray, like children. We must pray, and that is not enough. If it shifts again, it will settle again. If, as it has, it can survive onslaught like this. We can be certain now of enough cords this winter. From the rows of gentle, blue, glowing mountains, a gust sweeps across the valley, makes the birch trees shudder. Now, the freshness of new snow. Now, the invisible movement of earth in the field, at the good shed, creeping like spring ice. We must pray like our parents before us. We must pray, and that is not enough. By request, the first 2 poems in the manuscript, both having to do with my father, who, my dad passed away when I was 19. I was 23 weeks later. The lesson. Father, I have learned sadness in the eyes of children is prophecy. They watch the dim spark at the center of each star and know, even in that stillness, to say we are dying is not enough. Tonight, nearly 15 years since the horrible ceremony of your passing, I come to offer this final sacrament of ancient bone evolving new skin. It's called the inheritance. I was 8 when my uncle died. A year later, my parents and I buried the family dog in our backyard by a patch of lilies of the valley. I was always conscious of stepping over those bones, but it was not for 10 years the day I found my father fallen on the floor, too weak to climb into his bed, that I was finally afraid. I watched him at the hospital, his frail body curled like a fetus, and realized he was going back. And I wanted to take hold of those shrunken hands and lead him there myself. When his breath left him, my mother's eyes shut. The geography of her life became a small, hard planet spinning inside her. Galaxies collapsed. Worlds were thrown from their arcs. Her hands went limp. Stars exploded. Constellations were rearranged. And I understood I was now the man she loved. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will read a couple of points from each section of the book, and it moves into like childhood memory, family stuff, into other things. Pretty much, with a couple of sections, the points are pretty self-explanatory. Silver Lake is a place that when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, I would go to with my parents. We rented this cabin every summer for a week or 2. Silver Lake. The first time I saw it, I was 5 years old. And every day there, the sun exploded into bright red strawberries. Mother fed us with sweet milk, while Father swam the cool morning. Afternoons, I would walk along the shore, stop and bend to the glitter of the lake as he stood just close enough in the white sand. Our summer trips to the cottage always began with a slow drive in Uncle's 49 gray Pontiac. Year after year, at the end of vacation, he returned to bring us home. We went, not sure that's what we wanted. I live in a city I didn't know about then. My father and uncle were both dead. Mother writes often from the nursing home, and I remember the shine of trout beneath rippling pools.